In this video, we're going to be learning about estimating sums and differences. Now, there's three things we want to know from that title. Estimating means that we want an answer that's about something. We don't need to know the exact answer because we're estimating. Sums means adding, when we add, and differences means subtracting. We're going to be learning the strategy of estimating to the nearest tenth. Here's how we might do that. Let's say we have the numbers 3.24 plus 5.76. Well, here's my tenth place value, my tenths I should say, and when we estimate we look to the right of the place value we're estimating to, and this is a 4. So if the number's 4 or lower, we estimate down, which means the 2 would stay the same and the 4 would become a 0. So instead of putting a 0, we just leave it blank, and then we add in what comes in front of it. So we have 3.2 plus, looking at the 5.76, here's my tenths place value. I look to the right and it's a 6. So remember, if it's 5 or higher, we're going to round up. So after 7 comes 8. And then I can't forget about everything that came in front of that, my 5 and the decimal. So now we have 3.2 plus 5.8. Well, something that's really important when we add decimals is lining the decimals up vertically. So we would write the number 3.2 plus, we'll take this 5.8 and move it over, 5.8, and make sure that our decimals are lined up. And if they're lined up, then we're going to get a great answer. So here we go. 2 plus 8 is 10, so I'm going to put a 0 there and carry the 1. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. And now I'm going to drop my decimal down right in that spot, so it's in a nice line. And the answer is 9.0. Here's another example. 6.38 plus 5.14. Well, if we're rounding to the nearest tenth, here's my tenths place value. I look to the right and it's an 8. So am I going to round up or down? I hope you said up, because if it's 5 or higher, we round up. So the 3 becomes a 4. And then I include everything that came before that. So I have 6.4 plus 5.14. Here's my tenths place value. I look immediately to the right and it's a 4. So if it's 4 or lower, I round down, which means the 1 stays the same. And I remember to include everything that came before that. So now I have 6.4 plus 5.1. And now what's really important is remember to write it vertically, up and down, so our decimals line up. So I have 6.4 plus 5.1. And because my decimals are lined up, I'm going to add this up beautifully. 4 plus 1 is 5. I can drop my decimal down right there. And 6 plus 5 is 11. So my answer is 11.5. Now when we talk about estimating differences, it's the exact same strategy, except this time we are subtracting. Subtraction. So we're estimating to the nearest tenth. So the same process as when we're doing sums. Here's my tenth. I look immediately to the right and it's an 8, so I'm going to round up. So the 3 becomes a 4, and I can't forget about the things that come in front of it. Now instead of putting plus, we put subtract or minus. And on the next number, 5.14, here's my tenths place value. I look to the right and it's a 4, so I'm going to round down, which means the 1 stays the same, and I can't forget about the things that come in front of it. Perfect. Now that I have that, the next step is writing it vertically. You've got it. 6.4 minus 5.1. Now that my decimals are lined up, I should get a beautiful answer. 4 minus 1 is 3. I can drop my decimal down there. 6 minus 5 is 1. And that is estimating sums and differences to the nearest tenth. Good luck, have fun, eat your vegetables, stay in school, and listen to your parents.